So a few weeks back I did a video review of the Harley Benton Fusion T, and one of the things that I left out was a closer look at the trem system. So in this video, we're going to take a closer look at the 2-point Wilkinson Tremolo system that comes on this guitar. So the trem bar is machine threaded underneath, and it does screw down onto a hex screw like this. I'll show you that hex screw underneath in a moment, and I'll zoom in here and take a closer look. There is also a set screw there, which helps control the tension of the bar. So on this particular guitar, this trem system only dives down, and it pretty much acts like a decked bridge, as you can't really pull it back. You can pull back a little bit, and it'll give you about half a step in pitch up, but that's about it. I'm not sure if that's a limitation of the guitar or a limitation of the bridge. If I had to guess, I think it really has to do more with the guitar and the type of route this guitar has. So let's go ahead and get a closer look at what's under the rear cover. It is the typical 2-screw and claw system with 3 springs and a steel block. This is the hex screw that I was talking about earlier that the trem bar threads into. If you have trouble getting your trem bar to catch this thread, you may have to take the back plate off to access this, and then you'll simply just have to tighten this hex screw down into the trem bar. And of course, plenty of room in the route for the block to move back. And last but not least, just to be clear, this is not a locking tremolo system. This guitar comes with a Tusk Nut. So if it wasn't abundantly clear by the demo, I rarely use a trem bar. If you look around my studio, you'll see most of the guitars in here are fixed bridges, and the ones that aren't don't even have a trem bar on them. With that said, that's one of the things that I absolutely love about YouTube, is that it forces me out of my comfort zone and into trying new things that'll likely carry over into my regular playing. So the pros to this tremolo system are, number one, the guitar holds tune really well. Like, it took a bunch of takes to get that demo right, because as mentioned, I don't really play with a trem bar. And, through all of those takes, I really only had to tune it once, and it was just really slightly out of tune. So I was overall really happy with the way that the guitar held tune using that trem bar. Number two, with the 3-spring setup, the tension feels just right. There's a good amount of resistance on the bar, it doesn't feel loose in either direction, and it leaves you some room to kind of tweak it if you want. So with that said, the only real con to this bridge is that it only dives down. Pulling back on the trem bar, you really only get about half of a step, and to be fair, that might be a limitation of this particular guitar. Full disclosure, I'm really not sure, so if you know the answer, please drop that in the comments for those who are wondering. Overall, I actually really liked this trem system a lot more than I thought I would, and it's actually kind of inspired me to play with a trem bar more often. In playing with it now for about a week, I really did like some of the subtle nuances I was able to add to my solos with it. So as long as you don't mind the fact that it's downward only and it isn't a locking system, overall you'll probably appreciate this trem system. If you want to check out the full review of this guitar, be sure to check out this video right here. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, as I do try to answer all the comments that come through on the channel, and as always, thanks for watching.